Yeah, so wish us well on this adventure. It's just about to take place. Here we go.
Curdy wants to go.
Curdy's keen as.
To get off, let me.
You ready, Mister?
Who's that?
Oh, he's keen for anything. So yeah, Lower WA, not far around from Esperance. It's just amazingly gorgeous. We're going to explore it. Well, here we are. We're ready for our four-wheel driving adventure in the sand dunes. It should get pretty adventurous, so I hope you enjoy it. Margs, you're keen as mustard?
Absolutely. Bring it on.
Bring it on, tough as nails. Make sure you have a cuppa before you go, and just in your mind run through all your safety gear. Make sure you got the right tools on board, and keep the liquid up during the day. And you know, if the inevitable happens, if something goes wrong with the engine, gearbox, whatever, or if you get stuck, whatever, make sure you got a bit of tucker, keep your strength up. Plenty of water. Make sure you got plenty of water on board to drink, and you know, who knows, radiator leak, whatever, because you can fix most things if you catch them early enough. You just got to have the right tools on board. Righto. So we're going on the sand dunes. We need to always put the valve cap in the tread so I know where it is on the same tyre every time. So what we want to do is get that valve out and don't lose it. It comes out in a hell of a hurry. So you just keep an eye on it. It takes about 30 or 40 seconds to get all the air out, the air that you want. When you think it's getting close, you check it. We're not chasing 11 or 9, we're chasing 10 on every tyre. 10 is the magic number, you won't get stuck. That's still on 12. That's right on 10 there now. Get this valve back in the picture. Always double check it. You've got to release the old pressure out of the gauge and check it. That's on 11, so I'm not happy with 11, I want 10. 10's the magic number and I never get stuck. Righto, that's smack on 10, you can see that. There's the magic number. At the end, this is very, very important, both now and when you've re-inflated your tyres, you've got to do this. A little bit of spit on your finger, cover the valve and make sure there's no bubbles. If there's bubbles, it's leaking, you're going to get a flat. If there's no bubbles, we know where our valve cap is, straight in. If you have a look at that tyre, that's what you're looking for. You want it to squash right out. It buys you traction that way and that way. It gives you all the grip you need. Alrighty, so that's what your tyres should look like. Nice and flat at the bottom. 10 PSI is the answer. So with four-wheel driving, the trick is everything's done slow. With four-wheel driving, you get down on the flat bit of the beach, you know, you can, 20, 40s plenty along the flat beach, but up in the sand dunes, everything's done like slow motion. So it's very normal for your car to be very wishy-washy, almost like you're in a boat on the water. That's pretty much the feeling you can get at times when it gets a bit rough. But you want it to be wishy-washy. It's just your tyres and your suspension all flexing together, and you must have that traction to go in the sand dunes, or it just doesn't work. It's the only way. So as long as you got four-wheel drive with your right tyre pressures, you can take any four-wheel drive in the sand dunes, as long as you stay on the four-wheel drive tracks. But if you want to go off the beaten track, you need something with a bit of power. So we've just got a 6-cylinder turbo and it goes anywhere, but some of the four-wheel drives are 4 cylinders, some are non-turboed, 6-cylinder non-turbos and all that. They haven't got the grunt to move the sand through the tracks of the tyres to pull them up hills and get them out of trouble. So you've got to stay on the four-wheel drive tracks in something that's underpowered a little bit, but you can still go and enjoy the serenity. It's absolutely beautiful. The other thing is, if you do come to tree roots or rocky areas and all that, that's fine. You've just got to crawl over them at snail pace, because what you don't want is you don't want the tree root or the rock to come up that hard that it pinches the tyre against the tube, the rim against the bottom of the tyre, and put a hole in the tyre. I mean, these are tubeless. These tyres are tubeless, no tubes, but you can pinch the tube really easy in some vehicles. Most vehicles these days are tubeless. Yeah, so the rock scenarios and all that. I'll just walk down and show you one of the rock crossings I'm going to do this morning, and just so you've got an idea, it's got to be done slowly so you don't pinch your tyres. You can still go up and over. These things will just idle over almost anything in low four-wheel drive. So I'll go for a walk down and show you the rocks I'm going to cross. So there's the van there. There's a track up the top here, comes down, and it comes down right there. We're just going to go and explore that whole beach as far as it'll let us go. That's where we're going. You can see down low here there's rocks. All right, you can drive up on them rocks if the tide's right, and you can come all the way around. So you can see here some of those rocks have got big cracks in them, and they get quite rough in spots. So you've got to be super careful and forth see what's going on so you don't get stuck. But you can see there the tide's just starting to come in this morning. So once we've gone and mucked around over there for a few hours, we'll come back through these rocks. But the rocks do not move, so therefore you're risking your tyres getting pinched. So this is why, hence the reason why you got to do everything in slow motion, snail pace when you get to rough ground. Tree roots, rocks, that sort of stuff. So all down there, like, you can drive straight over all that stuff at snail pace. Our car's been through the salt water many a times. The salt water doesn't bother it temporarily, in short term. It certainly does in long term, but that's life. I'm here for the journey. I'm not worried about the rust and all that. Just buy another one. But you can see the sand along there and the four-wheel drive tracks along there. So that's the aim, down there, and we're going right around to them sand dunes just to have a look at the foreshore, the serenity, enjoy the full driving. There's a bit of a mental part of this as well, where you've got to forth see everything that's going on so that you do not get stuck. And there's an element of danger, which is only a small element of danger. Margaret loves it when we get to those sort of areas, but we stayed here last night. It's the 11th mile beach, it's called, down here in lower WA. It's absolutely pristine. So there was some people here this morning at just after daybreak, all having a swim here in this little lagoon area here. And then with the big rock, there's a big rock out the front there, goes right along the beach both ways. So this is like its own little swimming pool area here. It's about 7 or 8 feet deep in one area down there. That's perfect. Hoping to get Margaret in there later on with the goggle and snorkels. But the water now is about 14 degrees, so it's perfect for swimming. It will heat up as the days get hotter. So yeah, there's plenty to do here. So let's get this four-wheel driving adventure underway. The tyre pressures are right, the oil level, the water. I've got plenty of drinks on board. We've got a little bit of food on board. We ain't getting stuck, but you've always got to be prepared.